Jeffrey's mind is all fucked up. He sees his local Instagram influencer, his YouTuber, his rich YouTuber tells him the more he reads, the more he'll earn. Jeffrey actually starts to try to read. He sits down, but he can't seem to focus. His mind wanders. He's thinking of other stuff. He can't concentrate on reading a book. Oh, Jeffrey. His mind is too fucked up in order to even understand what that book is talking about. Adonis, on the other hand, Adonis reads every single day. He does not miss a single day without reading. He knows that the more he reads, the more he'll grow. He sits down and visualizes and grasps every word that he reads. He knows that the more he reads, the better he'll grow as a man. We should all strive to be more like Adonis. When I was young, I really hated reading. I really hated reading. I really did. Because my parents would put me to read every single day. Or every day besides the weekends. Every day for 30 minutes. And I didn't like it. I detested it because I was being forced to read. But even when I was young and I used to get in fights with my siblings or I used to get in trouble because I was doing bad stuff, my parents would discipline me by putting me to read. And I always hated reading, and I used to not be able to concentrate on what I was reading. I would read and I would read a page and I would not know what I just read. So I've came from that where now I read voluntarily every day. Every single day I implement that daily into my daily habits. I don't go a day without reading. I read every single day. I've read plenty of self-improvement books, and I tend to go back and read the same books. It has helped me. It gives you a little perspective. Sometimes the first pass, you go to the second pass, you catch things that you didn't catch in the first pass. So reading could really help you a lot. I see it more like of a leverage. I see when you read a book, that's somebody's whole life experience written down. So you could kind of use it as a mentorship. Like when you're reading a book, it's like someone's telling you their life story and telling you what to do. Not always avoid their mistakes. They tell you their mistakes so you could avoid them. They tell you how stuff that they have done and you could use it to your advantage. So that's how I think of it as reading. I feel like somebody's talking to you, telling you their life experiences. That 40 years of whatever you're reading is written down on a book, and you could read it in like a week, a month. And their 30 years just became a month of knowledge for you. 30 years of knowledge just became, you got it all in a month. So that's why I believe a lot of people don't read. A lot of people can't even grasp what they just read, even if they try to read. So I believe a man that doesn't read has no advantage over a man that can't read. So reading is you can learn a lot, literally a lot. You could become a whole different man. You could become a higher quality man by the stuff you read. That's why I'm gonna show you 5 books that will help you and build you up as a man, make you a better man, better than you were yesterday, better than you were a month ago, better than your peers. So starting off with number 1, Rich Dad, Poor Dad. That was my very first financial book. It's really good for beginners because it actually, Robert Kiyosaki, that's the author of the book, he actually talks about how money works. He gives you another view on money. Your view of money changes once you read that book. It changes. It changes your view of money. You start thinking differently, in which those are good. That's a good foundation for you to start making more money or managing your money differently. All right. So book number 2, which is my personal favorite, is probably, I will never stop reading this book ever. I will skim through it. I will read it for the rest of my life. Even if I read it 20, 30 times, I believe the more you read it, the more those ideas get engraved into your subconscious mind. And that's The Way of the Superior Man. That book is it's like a Bible for masculinity and how a man should operate. How it's a guide through, like a spiritual guide through mastering challenges of woman, work, sexual desires as a man. Everything that's written inside that book, it teaches you how to become a better masculine figure, and how that could help you with your sexual desires, woman. It tells you a lot of stuff. It's like a Bible for masculinity. So, going to number 3, Think and Grow Rich by Napoleon Hill. That book is amazing. It changes. It starts with your mindset. It doesn't teach you how to actually get to start making money, but it gives you a mindset, a money mindset, money making mindset. It teaches you how to spiritually, how to implement stuff into your subconscious mind in which you can act on it. Because it all starts with your mindset. If you think you can't do it, you will not be able to achieve it. But if you think you're able to achieve it, you more than likely will achieve it. So that's a really good book on building your mindset, money-making mindset, how I'll call it. And going over to number 4, Atomic Habits. That's a really good book on breaking. It's probably the best book I've read on habits, on making and breaking habits. It basically goes down to your habits are based on the systems you got in place for your life, right? I would recommend you read that if you have really bad problems with having bad habits. I don't know, like smoking, drinking, watching porn, or whatever. If you have really bad habits, I recommend you reading that. It can really help you break bad habits and make better habits for you. And it goes down to the scientific research and all that good stuff. And number 5, last book. It's a really good book. It's another money book. It's called The Psychology of Money by Morgan Housel. Hopefully I said that right. That's another money book, another financial book, which it goes down into depth, more into depth. Rich Dad, Poor Dad, basically, like, kind of it lays down the foundation of money, while The Psychology of Money actually gets into it, and it tells you a whole bunch of different steps, or a whole bunch of different money rules. I've read that one. It's a really good book. I actually wanting to go back into it and reread it again so it could refresh my memory. And I really thank those books on those 2 books, all these books basically, but those 2 books about money, especially Psychology of Money, is I thank them for it has really helped me get where I'm at right now. It has really helped me achieve my financial goals. And I believe they could do that to your goals as well. So I believe you should invest in yourself. That's the biggest investment you could get back, due to the reason that if you invest in yourself, you will get 10 times return. You'll become smarter. You'll become more wise. You will know what to actually do. So if you're not reading, you're not gonna it's really hard to become successful without reading. I believe it is possible, but reading is kind of like, it leverages you on. It's like a form of mentorship. And like always, guys, y'all stay on the grind, and I'll catch you on the next one.